Hello, and welcome to Last Hour, where history and mythology come alive to inspire and captivate. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Today, we delve into one of the most iconic tales of the ancient world, the Trojan War. Was it a historical event or a grand myth crafted to explain the human condition? Let's explore the mythic origins of the Trojan War. The story of the Trojan War begins not on the battlefield, but in the divine realm. According to Greek mythology, the seeds of the conflict were sown during the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, the parents of Achilles. All the gods were invited except for Eris, the goddess of discord. Angered by the exclusion, Eris threw a golden apple inscribed with the words, "To the fairest," among the guests, igniting a rivalry between the goddesses Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. The three goddesses sought judgment from Paris, a prince of Troy. Each offered him a bribe. Hera promised power, Athena offered wisdom and skill in war, and Aphrodite pledged the love of the most beautiful mortal woman, Helen of Sparta. Paris awarded the apple to Aphrodite, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to war. Helen, already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta, was abducted or willingly left, depending on the version, by Paris and taken to Troy. This act was seen as a grave insult, and Menelaus called upon the other Greek kings to fulfill their oaths of loyalty. Thus began the expedition to Troy, led by Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, with legendary warriors like Achilles, Odysseus, and Ajax among their ranks. The historical context: while the mythic elements of the Trojan War are well known, historians and archaeologists have long debated whether the war actually took place. The primary source for the story is Homer's Iliad, an epic poem composed around the 8th century BCE, which focuses on a brief period during the final year of the war. However, the events of the Iliad were believed to be based on oral traditions that may have preserved memories of a real conflict. The city of Troy, identified as the archaeological site of Hisarlik in modern-day Turkey, was first excavated by Heinrich Schliemann in the 19th century. Schliemann uncovered the ruins of a fortified city that showed evidence of destruction, possibly aligning with the timeline of the Mycenaean civilization, 1600 to 1100 BCE. Further excavations by Wilhelm Dörpfeld and later by Manfred Korfmann revealed that Troy was a significant city in the late Bronze Age, controlling trade routes between the Aegean and Black Seas. This strategic location made it a prime target for conflict, supporting the idea that the Trojan War might have been a real historical event, albeit one embellished over centuries. The key players and their motivations. The Trojan War, as described in mythology, was not just a clash of armies, but a confrontation of personalities. Each character brings a unique dimension to the story. Achilles, the Greek hero, whose wrath and eventual death are central to the Iliad. His invulnerability, save for his heel, makes him both powerful and tragic. Hector, the noble Trojan prince and warrior who embodies honor and familial duty. His duel with Achilles is one of the most poignant moments in the epic. Odysseus, the cunning king of Ithaca, known for his intelligence and the idea of the Trojan horse. Helen, the face that launched 1,000 ships, whose beauty and choices are often blamed for the war. Paris, Helen's abductor, whose actions set the conflict in motion, but whose bravery often falls short. Each of these figures represents a facet of human nature: pride, love, loyalty, and vengeance, making the story resonate across cultures and eras. The Siege of Troy, the war, is said to have lasted 10 years, with the Greeks laying siege to the city. The Iliad captures only a fraction of this time, but emphasizes the internal struggles among the Greeks and the key battles against the Trojans. The gods also play a significant role, intervening on behalf of their favored mortals and altering the course of events. Some of the most famous episodes include the quarrel between Achilles and Agamemnon, when Agamemnon takes the captive woman Odysseus from Achilles. The latter withdraws from battle, causing significant losses for the Greeks. The death of Patroclus, Achilles' closest companion, dons his armor to rally the Greek forces, but is slain by Hector, igniting Achilles' return to the battlefield. The duel between Achilles and Hector, a climactic moment where Achilles slays Hector and desecrates his body, only to later return it to King Priam in a moment of profound humanity. The fall of Troy, the final act of the Trojan War, is marked by the cunning stratagem of the Trojan horse. Devised by Odysseus, the Greeks feigned retreat, leaving behind a massive wooden horse as an apparent offering to the gods. The Trojans, believing they had won, brought the horse into the city. That night, Greek soldiers hidden inside emerged, opening the gates for their comrades and sacking the city. The destruction of Troy was total, with its men killed and its women enslaved. However, the story does not end there. Survivors like Aeneas fled, leading to new myths and legends, including the founding of Rome, as told in Virgil's Aeneid, the myth and reality debate. The Trojan War occupies a unique space between history and myth. On one hand, the archaeological evidence from Hisarlik suggests a historical basis for the story, a conflict over trade routes or political dominance. On the other hand, the involvement of gods, the lengthy siege, and the dramatic personalities point to the creative embellishments of oral tradition. Modern historians speculate that the war may not have been a single event, but rather a series of conflicts remembered and romanticized over time. The story's endurance in literature and art has made it a cornerstone of Western cultural identity, regardless of its historical accuracy. Reflections for the night. As we ponder the tale of the Trojan War, we are reminded of the power of stories to shape our understanding of the past. Whether historical or mythical, the war reflects timeless themes of love, pride, betrayal, and resilience. It challenges us to consider how truth and legend intertwine to create narratives that endure for millennia. What do you think? Was the Trojan War real? Or is it a grand myth that captures the essence of humanity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Good night, and thank you for joining us on Last Hour.